me tell you something right now. What you say to yourself matters more than you think. You see, every single day you are talking to yourself. But here's the question. Are you lifting yourself up or are you tearing yourself down? I need you to understand this. Your mind is a powerful thing. The thoughts you feed yourself today are the actions you will take tomorrow. If you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough, that you're not capable, that you're too weak, guess what? That's exactly who you will become. Your reality is shaped by what you believe about yourself. But here's the game changer. For just 3 days, I want you to speak to yourself differently. I want you to talk to yourself like you are already the person you want to be. Stop doubting yourself. Stop waiting for someone to come and tell you that you're capable. You've got to believe it first. It's time to flip the script. For the next 3 days, I want you to wake up every morning, look yourself in the mirror and say, I am strong. I am capable. I am worthy. I am going to crush today. I'm not backing down. I'm moving forward no matter what. I want you to start your day like that because you are your first supporter. You can't rely on the world to build you up when you're the one who has the power to transform yourself. You want results? Then you got to be consistent. I'm not talking about 1 day of good vibes and then slipping back into negativity. No, for just 3 days, talk to yourself like the world depends on it. It doesn't matter what happens around you. You need to keep reminding yourself that you are capable of anything. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. What if I don't feel like it? Let me tell you something. Don't wait for the motivation to strike. Don't wait for someone to tell you you're doing great. You've got to create your own motivation. Your words are your power. If you keep telling yourself, I'm not good enough, you're making that your reality. But if you say, I am more than enough, then you'll start seeing evidence of that in your actions. Let me give you a secret. Negativity is a habit. And just like any bad habit, it can be broken. If you've been talking down to yourself for years, then it's time to break that cycle. For 3 days, speak to yourself like you're the champion you were always meant to be. Speak to yourself like you've already achieved everything you dream about. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to start acting like it. You'll start making decisions that align with your greatness. You'll take steps towards your goals, no longer paralyzed by fear or doubt. And when you wake up on that 3rd day, I promise you something is going to shift. You will see yourself differently. You'll feel unstoppable. Your thoughts will align with your actions, and the world will open up to you. But it all starts with those 3 days of commitment. So here's what I need from you. Start today. Speak to yourself like you're already successful. Speak to yourself like you're already powerful. Speak to yourself like you've already won. That's how you create the future you want. It starts with your words. It starts with your belief. It starts with you. The human mind is a complex, intricate system of thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions that continuously influences our every action. The thoughts you allow to dominate your mind are not just fleeting whispers. They are the very foundation of the life you experience. How you talk to yourself shapes your entire reality, your attitude, your emotions, and ultimately your actions. The narrative you consistently tell yourself becomes the filter through which you interpret the world and the driving force behind your behavior. We all have an inner voice, a constant stream of thoughts that plays in the background of our minds, guiding our decisions and reactions. The nature of this inner dialogue, whether positive or negative, holds incredible power over the life we lead. If this voice constantly criticizes, doubts, and undermines your abilities, you begin to internalize those beliefs. Over time, you will start to see yourself through the lens of self-doubt, and you'll act in ways that reinforce that image. When your internal conversation is filled with negativity, failure becomes almost inevitable because you subconsciously believe you are not worthy of success or that you lack the skills to achieve your goals. On the other hand, positive self-talk creates a reality where you believe in your abilities, your worth, and your potential. When you speak kindly to yourself, When you affirm your strengths and abilities, you build confidence, resilience, and a proactive mindset. This shift in your internal dialogue can alter your perception of challenges and setbacks. Rather than seeing them as insurmountable obstacles, you view them as opportunities for growth, learning, and improvement. Your thoughts don't just float in your mind, they actively shape your actions. If you believe you can succeed, you will take the necessary steps to move closer to your goals. Positive self-talk encourages a mindset of possibility, making you more likely to take bold actions that align with your desires. When you tell yourself, I am capable, you'll approach challenges with confidence, perseverance, and determination. Conversely, negative self-talk breeds hesitation, fear, and inaction. If you constantly tell yourself, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, those thoughts paralyze you. Even when opportunities present themselves, you may be too afraid or unsure of your abilities to take advantage of them. Negative self-talk creates a cycle of self-sabotage where your internal beliefs about yourself dictate your lack of progress. This connection between thought and action is powerful. It's not just about what you think, it's about how those thoughts translate into the choices you make. When you shift your internal narrative to one of positivity and possibility, your actions begin to reflect that transformation. You take risks, make bold decisions, and push yourself to try harder. Over time, these actions begin to compound, leading to success. The foundation for any kind of personal growth or success is rooted in a positive mindset. Without a belief in your own potential, the road to success can seem daunting and unreachable. Success is not just about skills and talent, it's about mindset. People who achieve great things do so not because they are immune to failure, but because they possess an unwavering belief in their ability to overcome obstacles and continue moving forward. This belief begins with the way they talk to themselves. Positive self-talk fosters a growth mindset. The belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed with effort, perseverance, and learning. When you embrace a growth mindset, you no longer fear failure. Instead, you see failure as an essential part of the journey, a necessary stepping stone to success. This mindset encourages you to keep learning, keep evolving, and keep striving for improvement, knowing that each step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your ultimate goal. The key to shaping your reality is recognizing the power of your thoughts and understanding that you have control over them. Your thoughts do not control you, you control them. You can choose to replace negative thoughts with empowering ones. You can decide to speak to yourself with kindness, encouragement, and belief in your own abilities. This shift in your internal dialogue will not only change the way you feel about yourself, but it will also alter the way you show up in the world. When you consistently engage in positive self-talk, you train your mind to focus on what's possible instead of what's lacking. You shift your focus from your limitations to your potential. You begin to take ownership of your narrative and recognize that you are the creator of your own story. Positive self-talk is not about being delusional or ignoring real challenges. It's about framing those challenges in a way that empowers you to act, grow, and thrive. When it comes to achieving anything of significance in life, consistency is the secret ingredient. People often think that success comes from a singular, groundbreaking moment, a big event, a lucky break, or a sudden stroke of genius. But the reality is quite different. Success is built on the small, consistent actions we take day after day over time. It's not about doing something once and expecting results. The key to achieving any goal, mastering any skill, or making a lasting change is consistent effort. It is this commitment to showing up every single day, regardless of the circumstances, that leads to transformation. Many of us are tempted by the idea of quick fixes or instant results. In today's fast-paced world, we often seek immediate gratification, thinking that if we just take one massive leap forward, we will get there faster. But this mindset can be a trap. True transformation, whether it's physical, emotional, or intellectual, requires sustained effort. It's like planting a seed and watering it regularly. You won't see the plant shoot up overnight, but with daily care, eventually it will grow into something strong and beautiful. The idea that more is better is pervasive in our culture. People often believe that the more intense their efforts, the faster they will see results. So they push themselves hard, burning out quickly, and then wonder why they can't maintain their progress. They start strong, but because they're not consistent, they don't make it to the finish line. Instead of aiming for overwhelming bursts of effort that are unsustainable, focus on consistency. You don't have to go all out every day. It's the small incremental actions taken over time that compound and lead to success. This is where the power of consistency lies. It's about showing up every day, doing something, no matter how small, that gets you closer to your goal. Whether it's writing one paragraph a day, exercising for 20 minutes, or practicing a new skill for just a few minutes, those little actions build momentum. You'll find that consistency is far more powerful than occasional bursts of intensity. Small daily efforts often lead to more sustainable results than trying to do everything at once. If you commit to consistent action, over time, the results will speak for themselves. The process will become part of your daily routine, and you will no longer have to rely on motivation to get you through the hard days. It will simply become who you are. The first step to embracing consistency is committing to a mindset shift. It's not enough to say, I'm going to try this for a few days and see what happens. That's not the kind of mindset that leads to lasting change. You need to shift from a when I feel like it mentality to a no matter what, I will. The moment you decide that you will show up every day, even when it's hard, you begin to build resilience. This commitment to consistency is where the real transformation starts. It's about creating a new habit, a new pattern of behavior, and sticking to it no matter the challenges for at least 3 days or even longer. Dedicate yourself to the process. Just 3 days of consistent effort is enough to start building momentum and start seeing shifts in your behavior and attitude and actions. The first few days may feel difficult. You may face resistance from within, and you may struggle with doubts. But that's the moment where growth happens. When you push past the discomfort and continue to show up, you are rewiring your brain. You are proving to yourself that you are capable of following through. This simple shift, committing to consistency, even when it's uncomfortable, builds the confidence you need to keep going. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is the compound effect. The small actions you take consistently over time don't just add up, they multiply. Think of it like building interest in a savings account. When you consistently deposit money into your account, the interest compounds. And you start seeing exponential growth. The same principle applies to your efforts. Small daily actions may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, they yield huge results. This is especially true in areas like personal development. The changes you want to see in your life may not be immediately visible, but by sticking to your commitments, you will eventually see the impact. Whether it's becoming healthier, more confident, more productive, or more skilled, the key is doing something consistently, not all at once. You will look back after a period of time and be amazed at the distance you've traveled, all thanks to the consistency you applied every single day. Consistency isn't just about the physical actions you take, it's also about maintaining the right mindset. Even on days when you feel demotivated or when progress seems slow, consistency means showing up mentally as well. Remind yourself that this is part of the process. Just as your actions compound over time, so too does your mindset. Each day you continue to push through, you reinforce your belief that you are capable of achieving whatever you set your mind to. Your confidence grows with every action you take. As you build consistency in your actions, you begin to build consistency in your mindset, and that's where true transformation occurs. Remember, success isn't about doing something perfectly once. It's about showing up day after day, even when it's hard, knowing that the compound effect of your consistent efforts will eventually lead to extraordinary results. In life, we often find ourselves waiting for external validation. For someone to tell us we're doing well, for someone to recognize our efforts, or for someone to affirm that we are on the right path. We look to others for encouragement and motivation, hoping that their words will lift us up and provide the strength to keep going. However, the truth is that the most powerful voice we need to listen to is the one inside our own head. You are your own biggest supporter, and it's time to stop waiting for validation from others and start being the source of your own strength. External validation is something almost all of us seek in one form or another. It's natural to want recognition for our hard work, to crave compliments for our achievements, and to feel appreciated by those around us. When we don't receive the validation we're seeking, we can start to feel unnoticed, unworthy, or even discouraged. We might start questioning ourselves, our abilities, and our purpose. It's easy to fall into the trap of waiting for others to tell us that we're enough, that we're doing well, or that we're capable of achieving our dreams. However, this constant need for external validation can be limiting. It places our self-worth in the hands of others, and that is not where it belongs. The truth is, external validation is temporary, fleeting, and unreliable. People's opinions of us can change at any moment. What matters most is how we see ourselves and the belief we have in our own potential. No one else knows us as intimately as we know ourselves, and no one else can provide the encouragement we need as consistently as we can. The first step in becoming your own biggest supporter is learning to believe in yourself. This means acknowledging your strength, your abilities, and your worth, even when no one else does. You have everything you need to succeed already within you. The voice inside your head is the most powerful tool you have at your disposal, but only if you choose to use it wisely. Too often, we are our own worst critics. We focus on our mistakes, our failures, and our perceived shortcomings. We judge ourselves harshly and assume we are not good enough, capable enough, or deserving enough of success. But imagine if you spoke to yourself with the same kindness, encouragement, and belief that you would offer to a close friend or loved one. What if you could silence the self-doubt and replace it with empowering affirmations? What if you could transform your inner dialogue into one of motivation, positivity, and unwavering support? To become your own biggest supporter, you need to learn to speak to yourself with the same compassion and belief that you expect from others. This means replacing self-criticism with self-encouragement. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," tell yourself, "I am capable of overcoming this challenge." Instead of focusing on what you lack, remind yourself of what you have. Your strengths, talents, and resilience are enough to get you through whatever comes your way. Self-encouragement isn't about blindly affirming that everything will be easy or that you won't face difficulties. It's about reminding yourself that no matter how difficult things get, you have the ability to persevere, adapt, and grow. It's about acknowledging your progress, even when it feels slow, and celebrating the small victories along the way. When you speak to yourself with encouragement, you are building your own confidence and reinforcing the belief that you are capable of achieving your goals. Self-motivation is a critical component of becoming your own biggest supporter. Motivation is what drives us to take action, to push past obstacles, and to keep going even when things seem tough. When we rely on others to motivate us, we are handing over our power. We are waiting for someone else to light the fire within us. But the truth is that fire has to come from within. You have the ability to motivate yourself, to ignite that spark and keep it burning. Start by setting clear goals for yourself and reminding yourself daily of why those goals matter. Start by setting clear goals for yourself and reminding yourself daily of why those goals matter. Create a vision of your future self, one who has already achieved what you desire, and keep that vision in front of you. When challenges arise, Don't wait for someone else to cheer you on. Be your own cheerleader. Tell yourself that you can do it. Remind yourself of your strengths and your resilience. Self-motivation is about tapping into your inner drive and using it to propel you forward, even when no one else is watching or supporting you. Another important aspect of becoming your own biggest supporter is trusting yourself and your journey. It's easy to doubt ourselves when we don't see immediate results or when the path ahead feels unclear. We look for reassurance from others, hoping they'll tell us we're on the right track. But the truth is, no one knows your journey better than you do. You are the one who is walking it step by step, and while others may offer advice, their journey is not the same as yours. Trust that you have what it takes to navigate the challenges and uncertainties that come your way. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be at this moment. Trust the decisions you make and the actions you take. Even if things don't go as planned, remember that every setback is an opportunity for growth. You have the ability to learn from every experience, to adapt, and to keep moving forward. Trusting yourself in the process, building confidence is a crucial part of becoming your own biggest supporter. Confidence doesn't come from others telling you that you're capable. It comes from consistently proving to yourself that you are. Start small. Set goals and achieve them. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small. Each time you accomplish something, you reinforce your belief in your ability. Over time, this will build an unshakable confidence that comes from within. When you become your own biggest supporter, you stop waiting for validation from others. You trust yourself. You speak to yourself with kindness and belief, and you motivate yourself to keep going. You become the driving force behind your success. And as a result, your life begins to reflect the powerful, confident, and capable person you truly are. Many of us, without even realizing it, fall into negative self-talk patterns. These patterns can be subtle, creeping into our minds when we face challenges, when we make mistakes, or when we feel uncertain about our abilities. We may catch ourselves thinking thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, or I'll never succeed. These thoughts are not just harmless musings. They are powerful forces that shape our beliefs, our actions, and ultimately our reality. Negative self-talk is often ingrained, a habit that has developed over years of conditioning, influenced by past failures, critical feedback, or even the societal pressure we feel to measure up to impossible standards. But here's the most important thing you need to understand. These habits are not permanent. You have the power to break free from them. It may take time and effort, but it is absolutely possible to challenge these negative thought patterns and replace them with affirmations of strength, resilience, and untapped potential. Negative self-talk is like a repetitive loop that plays in the background of our minds. We may not even be fully aware of it, but its effects are undeniable. Over time, this negative thinking becomes a habit, and the more we feed into it, the more it grows. It tells us that we are inadequate, that we don't deserve success, or that we are bound to fail. This negative inner dialogue is incredibly limiting. When we listen to these thoughts, we start to believe them. We begin to make decisions based on fear and doubt rather than hope and confidence. But the first step in breaking free from this cycle is recognizing that negative self-talk is just that. Talk. It's not reality. It's a reflection of your past experiences, insecurities, and fears, but it doesn't have to dictate your future. When you become aware of the negative patterns in your thoughts, you can begin to change them. The power lies in your ability to step outside of the narrative that your mind is trying to convince you is true. The impact of negative thinking on our lives is profound. It doesn't just affect how we feel in the moment. It influences our actions, our relationships, and our long-term goals. Negative thoughts create a cycle of self-doubt that prevents us from taking risks or stepping outside our comfort zones. We start to avoid challenges because we don't believe we can overcome them, and we miss out on opportunities to grow and succeed. When we constantly criticize ourselves, it becomes harder to build confidence and trust in our abilities. We start to shrink in the face of adversity instead of rising to meet it. Over time, this lack of belief in ourselves can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If we don't think we're capable, we won't take the necessary steps to succeed, and as a result, we reinforce the very narrative that holds us back, replacing negativity with affirmations of strength. The key to breaking these negative cycles is to challenge the limiting beliefs that keep us stuck. Instead of allowing negativity to control the narrative, we can replace it with affirmations of strength, resilience, and potential. The words you speak to yourself matter more than you may realize. Words shape your thoughts, and thoughts shape your reality. Start by becoming aware of the negative self-talk that arises in moments of self-doubt. Whenever you catch yourself thinking, I can't do this, replace it with, I am capable and I will figure this out. When you think I'm not good enough, counter it with, I am worthy of success and growth. When you feel like giving up, remind yourself, I am strong enough to keep going no matter how difficult this may seem. These affirmations don't need to be grandiose or unrealistic. In fact, they should be rooted in truth. The truth that you have faced challenges before and have overcome them. That you have strength that you may not always recognize, and that you are always capable of learning, adapting, and growing. Over time, these positive affirmations will begin to replace the negative cycles of thought, creating a more empowering and supportive internal dialogue. One of the most important qualities to develop in breaking negative cycles is resilience. Life will always present challenges, obstacles, and setbacks. But resilience is the ability to bounce back from those difficulties. It's the inner strength to continue moving forward, even when things don't go as planned. Instead of letting a single failure define you, remind yourself that setbacks are just temporary. They do not define your worth or your potential. Every mistake or challenge is an opportunity to learn, grow, and become better. The more resilient you become in the face of adversity, the more you will believe in your ability to overcome any obstacle. This mindset shift is a critical component in breaking the cycle of negativity and replacing it with one of empowerment and growth. Breaking negative cycles is not something that happens overnight. It takes time, effort, and patience. There will be days when old patterns of thinking try to resurface. In those moments, remind yourself that change is a gradual process. Don't expect perfection, and don't be too hard on yourself when you slip back into negative thinking. What matters is that you recognize it, challenge it, and replace it with something positive. The key is consistency. The more you practice replacing negative thoughts with positive affirmations, the more natural it will become. Over time, you will start to believe in your own strength, resilience, and potential. These affirmations will no longer feel forced or artificial. They will become your truth. Lastly, breaking negative cycles requires a deep sense of self-compassion. We are often our harshest critics, but to break free from these negative patterns, we must learn to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding. When you experience a setback, instead of berating yourself, offer yourself the same compassion you would offer a friend going through a tough time. Understand that you are human, that mistakes happen, and that every step you take towards self-improvement is a victory. Be patient with yourself and allow space for growth. The journey to breaking negative cycles and replacing them with affirmations of strength, resilience, and potential is a transformative one. It requires awareness, commitment, and self-compassion. But as you challenge these old thought patterns and replace them with new ones, you'll begin to see a shift in how you view yourself and the world around you. You'll realize that you have the power to create a more positive and empowering inner dialogue, one that propels you towards success and fulfillment. There's a simple yet profoundly powerful challenge that can change the trajectory of your life. It's called the 3-day challenge. You've probably heard the saying, change happens one step at a time. But what if I told you that just 3 days of focused effort could start a chain reaction that transforms your life? It's not about trying to change everything at once, but about committing to 3 days where you speak to yourself as if you are already the person you want to become. For 3 days, you will take deliberate action, focus intensely on your goal, and see how it changes everything. The 3-day challenge is simple, but powerful because it's built on focus. We often get caught in the cycle of planning, thinking, and overanalyzing. We think we need years of work to see any significant change, but the truth is, focused effort over a short period of time can bring about more transformation than weeks or months of scattered, half-hearted attempts. 3 days isn't a long time, but it's enough to initiate a powerful shift in your mindset and behavior. When you commit to speaking to yourself as if you are already the person you want to become, you begin to see yourself differently. Your thoughts align with your goals and your actions follow suit. In those 3 days, your focus sharpens, your intentions become clearer, and you start to build momentum. By giving yourself this challenge, you are setting the stage for a breakthrough, showing yourself that you have the power to take control of your own transformation. Speaking to yourself as the person you want to become. The first and most important part of the 3-day challenge is committing to speak to yourself differently. Our inner dialogue is one of the most powerful forces in shaping our reality. The way we talk to ourselves determines the way we show up in the world. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not capable, that you're not enough, or that you'll never reach your goals, that becomes your truth. However, if you start speaking to yourself as if you are already the person you want to become, confident, capable, successful, you begin to step into that version of yourself. For the next 3 days, whenever a self-doubt or negative thought arises, replace it with something positive. If you're faced with a challenge, don't say, I can't do this. And if you're feeling unsure, remind yourself, I am confident and I trust in my ability to figure things out. Speak to yourself with the encouragement and belief you wish you heard from others. If you treat yourself like a friend, if you speak to yourself with the same love, support, and motivation you would offer to someone you care about, you'll notice something incredible. You'll start to believe in yourself more. You'll start acting from a place of empowerment rather than fear or doubt. Talking to yourself as if you're already the person you want to become is only part of the equation. The second crucial component of the 3-day challenge is taking action. Nothing will change if you don't take the necessary steps to back up the words you speak. Your goals may feel overwhelming, and it's easy to get caught in the trap of waiting for the right time or waiting until you feel ready. But here's the truth, you'll never feel fully ready, and there will never be a perfect moment. The key to achieving your goals is consistent action, no matter how small. For 3 days, commit to taking at least one action each day that aligns with the person you want to become. If you want to be more productive, start by organizing your day and tackling one important task. If you want to improve your health, take action by going for a walk, choosing healthier meals, or practicing self-care. Don't overcomplicate it. Just take the next step, no matter how small. By focusing on that one action every day, you create momentum, and momentum is everything. You'll feel the power of progress as you begin to move towards your goals one step at a time. The 3-day challenge also requires you to maintain a laser focus on the goal you've set. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get distracted by everything around us. Work, social media, life's endless to-do lists. But for these 3 days, commit to putting your goal at the forefront of your mind. Whether it's building a new habit, starting a project, or shifting your mindset, dedicate time and energy to that one thing. Every decision you make should align with that goal. Focus isn't just about physical action, it's about mental clarity as well. Take time each day to visualize the outcome you want. Imagine yourself living the life you desire, achieving the goals you've set. Let that vision fuel your motivation and guide your decisions. When you're focused, your actions become more intentional. You start to filter out the distractions, and every choice becomes an opportunity to move closer to your goal. Here's the most exciting part of the 3-day challenge. The changes you make in those 3 days can create a ripple effect. What you start in those 72 hours can lead to a lifetime of transformation. In just 3 days of focused action and self-empowerment, you begin to prove to yourself that you can change. You'll see evidence of your own strength, resilience, and potential. You'll notice how your mindset shifts, how your actions align with your goals, and how your belief in yourself grows stronger. When you take action and speak positively to yourself, you set in motion a process that doesn't stop after 3 days. Those 3 days will lay the foundation for a new reality, one where you no longer wait for permission or validation from others. You'll begin to see that the person you've been striving to become was always inside of you. You just needed to challenge yourself to unlock it. Commit to the 3-day challenge. Speak to yourself as if you're already the person you want to become. Take action every day. Focus on the goal. And watch how these simple, intentional steps start to transform everything. The 3-day challenge is more than just a short-term exercise. It's a gateway to lasting transformation. By committing to speak to yourself as if you've already become the person you aspire to be, you begin to break through the barriers of self-doubt and negativity. With focused action, even the smallest steps, you create momentum toward your goals. Maintaining laser focus on your objective ensures that every decision you make moves you closer to success. The power of the 3-day challenge lies in its simplicity. In just 3 days, you can shift your mindset, challenge old patterns of thinking, and start laying the foundation for lasting change. It proves to you that transformation doesn't require years of effort to begin. It starts now, with the choices you make today. Remember, this is not about perfection. It's about commitment, consistency, and action. The journey you embark on during these 3 days is just the beginning. What you prove to yourself in this short span will be the catalyst for a new way of thinking, living, and achieving. You are capable of more than you realize, and all it takes is a simple commitment to show up, speak positively to yourself, take action, and focus on your goals. The results will speak for themselves.